Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to cut right through all the hype around artificial intelligence. We're not just going to talk about what AI is, but how you can actually start working with it and turn it from this confusing piece of tech into a really powerful partner.
You know, for years, we've all heard it, right? These super confident predictions. There was this whole long list of things, creating art, writing code, that people just assumed were totally exclusively human. Things a machine could just never, ever do.
Well, the reality has those predictions were proven wrong, one after the other. AI's capabilities have just exploded at this incredible pace, moving way out of the research labs and becoming a really basic part of our daily lives, a lot of times in ways we don't even realize.
Okay, so let's really get into it. To truly get a handle on how to work with AI, we first need to get the foundation right. And that foundation is all about the relationship between raw data, useful knowledge, and ultimately real-world solutions.
Everything kicks off with data, and on its own, it's just a bunch of raw, unorganized facts. I mean, look at this list of numbers on the screen. It's just data. It means absolutely nothing to us. Yet. But here's where the magic happens. The second you add context, everything changes. If I tell you these numbers are actually the ages of people sitting in a room, suddenly that raw data becomes useful information. Now it has meaning. Now what's really interesting is the next step up. When we interpret that information, like say we notice that most people in the room are under 40, we gain knowledge. And it's this knowledge that lets us create a real solution, like maybe building a health app designed specifically for that age group. So, the big takeaway here? Think of AI as the engine that just supercharges this whole process. It helps us climb that pyramid from data to solutions way faster than any human ever could. Okay, so if AI is this powerful engine, how in the world do we steer it? How do we communicate what we want it to do? Well, it all boils down to one simple but incredibly powerful idea: the prompt. And this has created a whole new skill called prompt engineering. Now, it sounds technical, but it's really just the practice of writing clear, effective instructions to guide an AI to give you the exact output you're looking for. It's less about being a coder and more about being a great communicator. All right, let's look at two basic ways to do this. On the left, you've got what's called a zero-shot prompt. Think of it as a direct command. You're just asking a question cold, no examples. Now, on the right, that's a few-shot prompt. This is totally different. It's like teaching by example. You give the AI a little taste of what you want first. See how we gave it a sample risk and mitigation? By showing it the format, you're guiding its thinking, and you massively increase the odds of getting a really great answer. But what about more complex problems? Something that involves a bit of logic or math. A simple command might not cut it. Take this situation here. A health clinic needs to order supplies. It seems pretty simple, but there are a few steps involved to get it right. And this is where a brilliant technique called chain of thought prompting comes in. By just adding that simple phrase, "let's think step by step," you're telling the AI to slow down and show its work. It breaks the problem down, thinks through it logically, and, just like you see here, it gets to the right answer. It's amazing. Okay, so prompting is huge, but to really level up, we need to think bigger than just one-off commands. We need to develop true AI fluency, and for that, we need a strategic framework to guide how we work with AI. We can really think about our interactions with AI in three different ways. There's automation, where you just hand off a task. There's augmentation, where you're basically creative partners brainstorming together. And then there's agency, where you set up the AI to work on its own on your behalf. So how do you get good at all of these? Well, it's not just about writing clever prompts. You need to master a set of core skills, which we've boiled down to the 4 Ds of AI fluency. And here they are. First is delegation, knowing what to hand off to the AI. Then, description, being super clear in what you ask. Next, discernment, using your own judgment to check the AI's work. And finally, diligence, making sure you're using it all safely and responsibly. Together, these 4 are your roadmap. Okay, that's the theory, but theory is kind of useless unless we can see it in action, right? So let's make this real. We're going to look at how these 4 Ds, delegation, description, discernment, and diligence, actually come to life using some examples from public health logistics in Nigeria. So picture this, you're a manager, and this dense 40-page report lands on your desk.
Instead of burning half your day reading the whole thing, you can delegate that task to an AI with a simple, clear prompt, just like this one.
And just like that, you get the core insights. This is a perfect example of great delegation, choosing the right task for the AI, and crystal clear description, telling it exactly what you need. This frees you up to focus on the big picture decisions.
But AI can also be an amazing analytical partner. You can just feed it a spreadsheet full of raw data, and it can turn all those numbers into a really clear visual, like this chart comparing drug supply to what was actually used over 5 months.
But it doesn't stop there. By spotting the trend in that data, the AI can then make a pretty solid forecast for what's needed next. This is augmentation. The AI isn't doing the work for you, it's working with you, giving you data-driven insights to help you make smarter, more informed decisions. So look, here's what it all comes down to. When you master these 4 Ds, delegation, description, discernment, and diligence, you fundamentally change your relationship with this technology. It stops being this mysterious tool and starts becoming a true partner in your work.
And this just reframes the whole conversation, doesn't it? We stop asking, what can AI do? And we start asking, what can we do together? Which leaves us with a really powerful question for you to think about. Now that you have this framework, this new thought partner, what big, interesting, important problems are you going to solve?